What's up, Taiwan? Good morning. I'm Liao with 10 minutes of news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Taipei's pedestrian overpasses are disappearing. Once crucial for pedestrian safety, they are now being torn down due to age and inconvenience. But many of these bridges have stories to tell and are an important part of local history. Ken Ning has more.
It's the 1970s, and a young boy is selling slippers on a pedestrian overpass in Taipei City, a common sight back in the day. But the boy is not the main character in this scene. The bridge is. And in fact, pedestrian walkways like this one have featured prominently in some of Taiwan's best-known films like Millennium Mambo and Your Name Engraved Herein. And there's even a Taipei footbridge that's so iconic it featured in the very name of the Netflix series The Magician on the Skywalk. Footbridges like these have been keeping pedestrians in Taiwan safe for more than half a century. One of the oldest such bridges that's still in place is the Dadaocheng Cultural Footbridge, which was completed in December of 1968 to help school children safely cross the road. Local historian Zhang Zhesheng says that over the years, these overpasses have become more than just walkways.
当时这个天桥就像我们现在所在这天桥这么宽，那这个天桥就是会有很多的摊贩，他们其实是也没有得到营业许可啦，警察来了还是要整个皮箱扛了就走。
And some of them, like this bridge, have even become great places to take photos of the city's most famous landmark, Taipei 101. It's also a popular place to shoot the bustling traffic, but the city has plans to tear this bridge down.
天桥的功能是让民众穿越使用，不是说在上面驻足停留去看那个101的那个景色。那其实，应该说整个我们把天桥拆除之后，它整个视野是更宽广，整个天际线是打开的，反而是恢复了一个美丽的天际线。
So what about the people who use the bridge? What do they think? Should the city save it?
我觉得没有，因为其实带小朋友就是走楼梯，其实不太方便，对啊。然后其实它马路的秒数也够久，就走快一点就可以了。
我觉得台北的天桥还是可以保留的，因为不管是学生啊，或者是小孩跟年纪比较小的小孩啦，他们走天桥也相对比较安全一点。像现在车流量很大嘛，然后行人也很多，可能会发生一点意外之类的。
Historian Zhang Zhesheng says that when you consider the role these bridges have played in the lives of so many people, it might be worth that cost. One of the most iconic bridges is located right at the center of Taipei, just steps from the legislature.
在台湾的整个政治民主的发展历程呢，我们历经了很多的一些抗争。那许多的抗争其实就发生在我们现在看到的这个路口这里。所以这座天桥，我觉得它在台湾民主的一个发展上，它有一个非常重要的一个地位，它就像是一个见证者，见证着台湾的民主从之前戒严时期解严，然后整个开放党禁到现在的一个状况，然后它全部都看在眼里。那这个是我有时候走在这个天桥上，我会觉得很感动的一点。
More than 50 years ago, Taipei began building footbridges to help its citizens cross the street. But they provided more than just safe passage over the traffic. They offer a place from which to observe the passage of history. Many of these bridges have since been torn down to make way for the changing needs of the city. But one thing's for sure, these footbridges have been preserved on the big screen, and they will live on in the collective memory of the people of Taipei.
那时候是2001年。
Damon Lin and Ken Ning for TaiwanPlus.
Did you know the markings on the head of every sea turtle are unique? Just like each person's fingerprints, Taiwan is now identifying turtles through these markings and encouraging people to give them names. Luis Want reports.
These endangered turtles were filmed by wildlife photographers in waters off the small Taiwanese island of Xiaoliuqiu. Looking at the images later, environmentalists identified 15 turtles through distinct patterns on their heads and faces. They found the markings as unique as people's fingerprints. Sea turtles live in open waters and along coasts, and face risks including habitat destruction and climate change. To promote their conservation, a Taiwan Marine Science Museum is inviting people to name the turtles. There will also be a similar project in Green Island off Taiwan's east coast, and that was kicked off by members of the local community.
已经有记录到4只海龟，而且分别命名，也会把这些成果画成教案，提供给岛上的国中小学教育使用。
Taiwan hopes that naming turtles will be the first step in encouraging their survival. Karma Xu and Louise Watt for TaiwanPlus.
The indigenous people of Taiwan are part of the wider family of Austronesian peoples. Many scholars now believe that Austronesians originated in Taiwan before migrating to Southeast Asia and the Pacific Islands. A new documentary series on TaiwanPlus called The Secrets of the Ocean Tribes explores this idea. Wei Zhonglu has more.
I feel fantastic.
Over 5,000 years ago, the Austronesian people are believed to have traveled in canoes like this one from Taiwan onto Southeast Asia and the Pacific Islands, in one of the most significant mass migration in human history. To explore this theory, Taipei-based Italian director Stefano Santini invited Taiwanese indigenous artist Yoshi Fu and British anthropologist Julian Davison to find a hidden link between indigenous Taiwanese and their fellow Austronesians. Their efforts can be seen in a new documentary series called Secrets of the Ocean Tribes.
This is a story that is very linked to how we live together with our planet, but it is also a story that is not so well known. I just wanted to let more people discover because it tells a lot also about Taiwan, what kind of place it is, how welcoming it is about the cultures, and how diverse the environment is.
Among those featured in the series is Gulas Yotaka, a member of Taiwan's indigenous Amis group and a spokesperson for the country's president.
By actually knowing ourselves, it helps us to rebuild the new identity, not just for us, but for our friends, brothers and sisters in different countries, but also for this country. We have to recognize and acknowledge that the history, the precious history of our country. This is the most precious part of this story.
The filmmakers also traveled to 6 other countries, including the Philippines, Tonga, and New Zealand, discovering that Taiwanese indigenous people have much in common with other Austronesians. That includes a fading connection with their traditions in the face of discrimination and rapid progress. To stem the tide, Taiwan's government is working to help its indigenous people revive their culture.
我们遇到的语言的危机是一样的，发展都这么发展，但是现在遇到危机，好像又刚好是要从台湾开始把我们的语言救回来。
Taiwan's indigenous peoples are fighting to hold on to their voices and affirm their identities. By exploring wider links to the region, Secrets of the Ocean Tribes helps to establish a Taiwan-centered history, one that acknowledges their ancestors' crucial role in building the modern world. Alex Chan, Wei Zhonglu for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Remember to download the TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally today, we leave you with images of the Taipei Zoo's 2-star pandas celebrating their birthday this week. I'm Leslie Liao. Take care and see you next time.